Waymo, here it comes. Alright, cool. See? I knew it was coming. Alright. Let's see. I'm gonna sit in the front. Good morning. Got my seatbelt on. Give me a second here, guys. Okay. We're good to go. Should start ride.
Heading to Terminal 3, South
Off we go.
8. Please make sure your seatbelt is
Ta-da.
fastened. For any questions, press the call support button to speak with a rider support agent.
You know, what I want to do in this video is just give you guys an overview of, turn this music off, give you guys an overview of how the car is driving, what I think of it, you know, from an autonomy point of view, from a capability point of view. For those of you who don't know, I drive a Tesla Model S Plaid. I have a hardware 3 and now I just bought a hardware 4 version, so I've driven 13.2.3, I think is the latest one that I've been on, and also 12.5.6 I think is the hardware 3 version, the latest hardware 3 version at this time, which is February 6th 2025. So yeah, that was good. Came to a stop sign, made a left. We did have a car coming, but it had time to go. And it drives appropriately, you know, aggressive, but keeps the speed limit. It doesn't seem timid or unsure, which is good. You know, hardware 3 on Tesla does seem that way sometimes. The hardware 4 definitely is a lot less timid and a lot more sure of itself, which I think is more akin to this type of natural, smooth feeling. It does pretty good. We did, like yesterday, there was a car that was broken down in the center lane here, and it was partially into our lane, and the car, you know, the Waymo car did go around it a bit. You know, we got a pedestrian crossing the road. I don't think that's even going to be a problem. And of course, if there's an emergency of some kind, you can always press pull over, you can call support, and you can do things like change the heat, which I'm going to do because it's actually kind of cold. There we go. I'm getting in the left lane, and again, it feels good, very natural, very appropriately, you know, I'd say aggressive, but not too aggressive, you know. Of course, if you're not aggressive enough, then people cut you off. They're gonna, you know, you're not gonna get into the lane you need to be in, and that kind of thing. So, there's a happy median. You can see some of the dash information here. Yeah, any special cameras? We do have this one. I guess this is an interior camera that they use to record the passengers. Other than that, I see some kind of sensor up front. This might be a rain sensor. Of course, on the outside, there's tons of sensors. There's LiDAR. There's a big LiDAR unit on top. There's 4 LiDARs on each side. There's radar in each corner. Okay, so now we're changing into the right lane, which is fine. Yeah, it does seem to, like, get out of the way of traffic and, you know, doesn't camp in the left lane, that kind of thing. So we'll see what happens here. Heading to the airport. I mean, this drives at least as well as every Uber I've ever been in, and better than some of them. I don't know if you guys have seen my other videos. One thing I noticed that right now, cool blue Cybertruck. One thing I noticed that right now it doesn't go on the highways. So for this route, we don't need to go on the highways. It doesn't really make a difference. Yesterday, I went a bit further, and I did notice that the route we took about a half an hour, and we could have been there in an Uber in 15 minutes or something like that. So it was quite a bit slower due to the fact that we had to take all the surface streets on a busy weekday. I heard that they are testing on the highways, and I know that they're also doing testing in areas that have bad weather. Right now it works in low, like a little bit of rain, but anything more than that, and they'll stop. They'll send them back to the fleet hub or whatever. Which of course is why they operate in Phoenix, where it doesn't really have a lot of rain. But I heard they're doing some testing in upstate New York for snow, inclement weather and snow and things like that. So, maybe at first with a safety driver, and then we'll see what happens when they eventually can roll it out all over. But I think they will be expanding. How fast and how feasible it is financially, it remains to be seen. And whether people will adopt to this too. I think, I'm a techie person. I enjoy it. This is fun for me to check all this out and be an autonomous car. But could I picture my in-laws or my dad getting in this driverless car, like without me telling them to, and wanting to take this over a taxi or an Uber? I mean, they wouldn't take this if this was twice as much, or if the Uber and the taxi were twice as much money. I don't think they would take this, just because they'd be scared out of their minds. So, there is some barrier until people get used to it. There's certainly segments of the population who I don't think are going to be comfortable with it. No matter how you can drive perfectly 100% of the time, have a flawless accident rate, and I think it's going to take quite an adjustment of many years for some people to adopt to them. But it's nothing you can do about that other than just prove them wrong. So you'll see we're getting in the left lane here. I'm not sure why we got in the left lane. There's nobody behind us or in front of us, so it really wasn't necessary. Now we've got a car coming up behind us. So he's not really too close, but we are kind of in his way. And we're doing exactly the speed limit of 40 miles an hour, which he's probably a little bit annoyed by. It says arrives in 8 minutes. So again, it's not perfect at lane selection. Actually, even coming to pick me up, it seemed like it got a little lost. It went around the block the wrong way and then had to come back around, so it took a few extra minutes. So, some route planning, I think, and lane selection they probably could work on better. I don't know if you can see the LiDAR spinning up there. So you can see it's a LiDAR to the right and, in that vicinity, and then a radar in front of that on each corner. We still got this Nissan behind us, kind of riding our bumper, annoyed. Okay, looks like we're getting in the left lane to take a left. Oh, there's another Waymo car. Okay, I'm gonna wait for traffic to clear. Now we've got opening. We're gonna go for it. Yellow light. Oh, all right, it's going for it. So that was good. I mean, I probably would have pulled out under the light a little more myself, but it did what it needed to do. And I was able to tell it specifically what terminal to drop me off at the airport. Like an exact location. So I don't know. I'm not that familiar with this airport. Why we're coming in here, pulling in, and going around a roundabout thing here seems. Aren't we just getting back on the same road we were on? So it seems like we're going the wrong direction or something. Yeah. So we just were here, took this left, and then we turned around and we're going back the other way. So we could have taken a U-turn. I mean, a normal driver would have just taken a U-turn if we needed to go this way. Whereas I guess maybe, I'm not sure if Waymos take U-turns or whatever the case. It seems like I'm sure there's a way from that side. There's got to be an exit or something to turn directly into the airport, not come up here, make a U-turn, and then go back on the opposite side. That's obviously not the actual route. This is like a suboptimal route. But we are getting there. Got a nice train overhead. Yeah, Phoenix is a pretty cool city. Feels like you haven't been here before. I'm relatively new to it myself. But I don't live here, but I'm just visiting a couple times, and it's some areas like this are really nice and commercial and built up, and then it's got some cool tech stuff like Waymo going on, and they're trying to innovate, and there's other areas that I was in yesterday that were felt like somewhat of a foreign country, to be honest with you. Pretty maybe not the safest place, and I guess like most major cities, but but yeah, a lot of nice areas, big open roads. The airport's very nice, easy to navigate. Okay, so we just had our signal on there for some reason. I'm not sure why. We are going to Terminal 3 though. Is this Terminal 3? No. So the other Waymo car was not pulled fully into the lane. Oh, now we're merging over. Did we merge in front of somebody? No. It's alright. The other Waymo car was partially on the line, so it got a little scared of getting that close, and it kind of swung wide into the median lane there. So we're actually speeding now. 34 to 25.
Follow airport signs for check-in and security.
So far, prior to this, it never had done any speeding whatsoever. Okay, it looks like we're getting ready to pull over, but it's a little bit confused because there's a car there, so it's thinking about how it wants to pull over, and looks like it's going to go in front of this guy. And we're here. Oh, I'm going to hit the curb? Nope. Looked like it. All right. Have a good day, guys.